Oh, what's up guys, welcome back to the fan modeling course. In the last section we modeled this top part, this mechanism. It was a little bit tricky because we had to model it from multiple angles. It's not like a plain object where you just cut something. It's a little bit trickier object. And in today's episode we are going to model the top. This part right here. This part. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so first the workflow, we take, let's think, so this is basically a cylinder and then this is a sphere. So what if we just take a cylinder and then join a cut in half sphere to it? We'll get this shape, and then this at the bottom, it's just a beveled cube, kinda, yeah, just scaled cube, and it just merged with this object. And then yeah, that's just a cylinder and stuff. And for the back part, for this part right here, we're going to just use radial array and do the cuts. We'll probably do 1/4 of it and then just duplicate them in all 4 axes. That's just simple rectangle cuts. And yeah, for now we're going a little bit high poly. We still sometimes care about polygons. But yeah, we're doing high poly. Later we'll bake all this detail. It won't be real geometry. So yeah, let's go. Let's jump into this. Okay, so I got my file open already. I hope you didn't forget to save yours. Okay, so let's go. Let's just add okay, goddamn, I forgot to enable scribe again. There we go. Now I can see my buttons. Okay, so let's just go ahead and add quad sphere. I already talked about this, and how you can see it is just basically an add-on. So let's add this, and here you can see subdivision. So let's just reduce the subdivision count. Or maybe we are going to be cutting holes inside of this, which means that we need a little bit more dense geometry. So this means that we actually kinda need higher subdivision amount. So let's do 4. Okay, so let's enable X-ray B and just select this side, X, vertices, object mode, scale it down. Or actually, let's just leave it there for now, and let's add, it's not a cube, let's add a cylinder right here, rotate it like that. And I would actually like the amount of polygons to match this side to this side. So here we got, how many do we have? I'm thinking if there's a quick way to actually see how many we got. Actually, yeah, I think, yeah, here, if you just select them, it will say 64 verts right here. So that means that we need 64 vertices on here, and in this case we got 32, you see, which means that we have to have it double. So let's add another cylinder, and here just boom, 64 like that, and rotate 90 degrees. Now it matches. I just move it on x-axis, scale it up a little bit more, scale it up, and I just want to match the size of it, something like this. The best case scenario would be if we matched everything so perfectly that we could actually just merge everything by distance automatically. Okay, I'll just zoom in a bit more like this, zoom even more, yes, like that. Boom. I think it might attach everything automatically. So right now let's just go ahead and delete this interface for this one. You see, I just deleted this face, and then the same thing for this one. Okay, it doesn't have a face already, so that's fine. Now let me just try and join those. So select both Control J, and now let's just go into this and press 3 for cleanup. And I think it joined everything automatically. Yep, it did. And 3 is just basically Mesh Machine or Machine Tools, or one of these plugins, just cleanup tool. If you don't have that, again, just select everything, press M, and then by distance. It will merge everything. So yeah, those vertices basically share the same exact location. That's why we were able to just do that. Okay, so boom. Now I'm going a little bit faster for this one because you already practiced a little bit. You should be a little bit faster. Okay, so here, let's see. So this is kind of okay. So I think that in our case, it's a little bit too large. It should be a little bit narrower. So just SX, scale it on X-axis, and something like this. You see, I'm looking at this curvature. Maybe a little bit bigger, SX, something like that. And then don't worry about the front, we can just take it and GX and move it, make it a little bit longer, something like that. So that's what we got right now. Then let's get the cube at the bottom. I'll just move this away. Let's just get it, cube, GZ, SX, and move it like that in. It joins somewhere in here. Let's see here. So, okay, so I'm trying to see where it joins. Okay, so it joins almost at the end. Okay, this might cause us a little bit of an issue right here, but we'll see. So that's too much, way too much. It doesn't extend that much, something like that. Okay, yeah, that's going to be tricky. Now I'll just select both of those and click the slash on my number pad to just isolate everything. And now in the whole scene we just have these two objects, just so that others don't get in the way. Okay, yeah, so something like this. Now what you can do is just go ahead and bevel everything and give it decent amount of subdivisions again. Something like this. I gave it like 10 segments. Okay, now we are going to join it, which means that this doesn't have now any plugins, and I mean not plugins, modifiers, and this one has bevel modifier. So if we join them, this one will get the same bevel modifier, and it will cause just huge bevels. We don't need that. So in this case, let's just go ahead and apply it. So we got something like this right now, and then we are going to be joining this, which is a little, again, it doesn't join on just straight edge. It has a curvature like this, and then it has curvature like this, which makes it again a little bit more complicated cut. That means that we need denser geometry. So let's add some subdivisions in here and in here, like that. Now it's dense. Let's do the same thing with here, in here. Let's just make it more dense. Okay, see, now it's dense. Okay, and now this doesn't have any modifiers, as well as this one. And don't worry about this side, the left side. We will just later go ahead and cut it with BoxCutter to make everything equally nicely just aligned on the sides. We're just worrying about this side, and select both of them. And right now I'm actually thinking we might be able to just get away without even joining them, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's a big part, it's a quite visible part of the fan, but to be honest, like, that's quite sharp already. The real object is quite sharp. So actually, I'm thinking now we don't even really need to join them. By saying join, I mean like join the geometry itself by clicking on them and clicking Ctrl plus like that. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about union. I'm just talking about joining them like this. Control and then Control J. That's it. Boom. Like that. Just two objects intersecting like that. But then again, there is geometry inside right now, and we already made it dense. You know what? We already made it dense. Like, whatever. Let's just join them. It's just a good piece to practice. But yeah, if I was modeling this, I would just make it less subdivided, I would make it more low poly like it was before, and then I would just leave it at that. And later in the optimization phase, I would just optimize it a little bit more. But you know what, let's just join them. So select this object and that, and then Control plus. And now let's see here. Let's just sharpen everything smooth like that. And now what do we have here? Let's add a bevel modifier as well. Okay, and we got some issues in here. I see. Let's see here. Let's just ever scroll. Maybe moving it a little bit will help us. Well, not really. It's not really helping us. Let's just hide the bevel modifier for now. And now just click 1 and let's see here. Okay, yeah, so in this case we need access to geometry. I don't think that we will be able to fix it without applying this. Yeah, I mean, maybe something like this though. Yeah, but I think it's too much. This seems kind of fine, but no, actually we need to move it a little bit back like it was before. And we do need to fix it properly, which means that we will sadly have to apply this boolean, so just Control sharpen. And now we have the access to this geometry. And now there is a way of cleanup. You already know it, but we're going to do the other method of just doing it quickly. Actually, before we do that, let me just cut the front as well. So BoxCutter like this, and then just boom, cut the whole thing like that. And for this, let's just go ahead and click 1, then Alt click to select the whole thing, press Y, and then actually I'm just going to save the file, because sometimes Mesh Machine likes to bug out and it just, I don't know, it's weird, but it just bugs out and it doesn't work sometimes. So just offset cut like that, and then the width, let's just make it a bit smaller, something like that. And yeah, that's fine already. See how it's looking. And let's just alt click on sharpen to add weighted normals. In this case it doesn't really help us. Okay, let's just add the bevel. Oh wow, what the hell is going on? Okay, the bevel is just way too large. That's what was going on. So like this. We could get away with this, but I see here there are some issues right here actually. You see these faces right here. I don't like how that looks, so I'm just going to maybe try and join those ones, line those up a bit. Yeah, the cutter was just cutting this, something like that. It's a bit better, yeah, but I need to continue and fix it. This thing, let's just maybe remove it and then join this to that, and this to this. I mean, it's almost, actually it's good, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm just going to move it up so you could see it better. Yeah, that's good actually, boom. So we joined it. Yeah, just a good practice piece. Okay, and now this is fine, that's fine. Let's actually just go ahead and apply the boolean in the front right here, and just select this face and just GY to just make it longer. Now this doesn't really matter actually, we don't really need to add loop cuts in here. It's fine like this as it is. And okay, so we got this much. Okay guys, so here we go. Now we're done with this part, so let's go ahead and create the back area right here. So right now, how do you approach something like this? So first you see for a pattern. So let's see, so this is Radial. So you know that you can just simply create sometimes just half of the model, 1/4 of it, but sometimes you can just create even less. And let me just show you that. So in this case, what we can actually do is just go ahead and create only this section right here. That's all we need. These 3 pillars, that's all we need. It's because it repeats. If you look at it, it repeats the whole pattern. You see? It repeats throughout the whole thing right here. Boom. You see? It just keeps on repeating. So if you're looking for something like that, I mean, if you're modeling, and always look for what's the smallest amount of geometry that I need in order to just go ahead and create a radial array like that. I mean, you could go ahead and create just 1/4 as well, like that. But it's just going to be longer. You're going to just waste more time if you would create this area and then just duplicate it in 4 axes like that. So yeah, so let's just go ahead and create a little bit that whole small area. So right now, make sure that your 3D cursor is in the center. You can just go ahead and snap it like this, cursor to world origin, and then add new object. So just make sure that it's in the center, and just scale that like that. What? SC, come on, Blender, like this. And so we see that there's one longer and then 2 smaller, so like that. Now I'm just going to bring it out like that so I can see it better and so that I could select it better. And now be careful. Right now, if you make this too wide, I'll show you what will happen. So if you make it something like too wide like that, watch what happens. So Shift D and then just rotate it. Okay, so there's another thing. So scrap that idea, I'll show you later what happens when you make it too long. Right now we want to get a proper rotation. So right now if you just Shift D and rotate, it is going to rotate around this. Then ask yourself a question: where do you want to rotate it? We want to rotate around somewhere here, because this is the center of the whole thing, like that, the whole loop, like right there. So how do we do that? Simply go ahead and check where is origin for this object. In this case, it's exactly where we need it to be. If it wasn't here, you could go into edit mode and find some vertice which is in the center, which is this one right here. And then you could just press Shift S and object origin to vert right here. In this case, it's already where we need it to be, but we need to add there the 3D cursor, this thing right here, this thing. We need to add it there. And you cannot just reliable it like that, you need it to be accurate. So just make sure that you have this selected, press Ctrl S, and then you have this. So it's the cursor icon to selected. Boom, it's going to snap it. And so now if we just select this again, and before we rotate, we select this 3D cursor. If we do this, it's still not rotating around that because we need to select here 3D cursor. It's going to basically transform pivot point. And now it rotates around the whole thing like this. I mean, you could just go ahead and try and just Shift D and rotate, Shift D and rotate. But yeah, it's just too time consuming to do it that way. So right now I'm going to show you what happens if you do it normally, and then I'll show you what happens if you make it too wide, this thing. So here, like that, and then just Shift D, rotate it a little bit, and Shift D, rotate it a little bit again. I'll select these two, go into edit mode, select these faces, press GG twice quickly, and just reduce its size. Like that. Maybe it's an overkill. It has to be something like that. Then I am actually going to just position them kinda equally spaced like that. Just eyeballing this, that's fine. You'll get it quite accurately. And then just Ctrl J to join them so that it's one object. Now let's just go ahead and press just so there are 2 ways how you can do it. from this point. There is the origin point. You need to bring this one to 3D cursor as well. It's the origin point for this one. So you can just go ahead and press Shift S, and which option is it? It is object cursor to cursor right here. You see? So just do that. There's an option for it. And now we can rotate around this. And so right now I can just press Q, and here operations, and mesh tools, and there is twist 360. If you don't have that, you could do that without add-ons by just simply clicking Shift D, then R. That's very important. Don't click anything else, and then kind of eyeballing it and just applying it. And now just keep on pressing Shift R multiple times. Boom, like that. So it's possible to make it this way. Now something was inaccurate right there. I think the distance was kind of messed up. That's why it's way better to just use the add-on. But it's possible. It just requires some fiddling around. So right here with the plugins, just go ahead and select the radial array, and then just boom, adjust the distance immediately like that. Something like this. But now you see it doesn't really fully match. So in this case, just click to apply it, and then just go edit this and just maybe select this. Just select one side, press L, and just basically play around with these distances right here. That's what's wrong. That's what's causing it. Just adjust these distances. Move the right one a little bit to the right in this case. Well, it's just something that you kind of get used to when you work, and you and then you just see result. How does it look? Is it better or not? Rotate a little bit more. This one, rotate, exit out. Okay, then it's almost good, but still something is wrong. But in this case, I know that it's this thing, the strength, that's wrong probably in this case. Yeah, it was. So boom, you just adjust the strength right here in the displace menu. I think you can just go ahead and do this radial array and then just tweak it from here by just pressing H to see the menu. You can see different options right here, and one of those should be D, adjust displace right here. And you see, if you look at the right side of my screen, where the radial displace is the modifier, you see it's just simply changing the strength value. So if you go through this menu by just going here and just clicking radial array, then clicking D, it's the same thing as just changing it in here. It's just faster on the screen right here. Okay, so boom, now we got it right actually. If you just look at that, you have this, and then these at 90 degrees, and then these longer at 40 degrees, and that's exactly what we have in here. Now, what happened if you made those fatter, basically? So I'm just going to do that right now. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. Maybe Alt-S. Yeah, Alt-S kind of works. So something like that. So first thing, you see, even right here, Alt-S, it's going to start messing this thing up right here. So now you'd say, okay, like, where's the problem? I can just take this and just move it further, right? Just like that. L, just like this fully. I mean, yeah, where's the problem? I can just move it like that, and that's it. But there is a problem. Look at what's going on right here. You see? D. You see, you won't get it right, you see? It's just messed up. So you need to get the width properly. And usually, I mean, if you're just eyeballing it, it will be fine. You'll be able to get it. It was even smaller. But yeah, something like this. That's right. Okay, and now what do we want to do? I think that in this case, I'm actually not sure if it will be fine or we need more geometry in here on these things. But for now, for sure, we just need to go ahead and extrude these out like that. I mean, I'm not extruding, I'm just moving in this case, moving them out, and then just like this. Make sure that they're quite deep in there like that. and then just select this and then shift this and just control minus. Boom. Now we are going to see a lot of issues, and now it's the same width as this bevel. It will have the same width as that bevel, and in this case I think it seems right. The bevel seems right, but let's just go ahead and ever scroll and maybe just try rotating it like slightly. But no, we actually do need to have it like exactly there in the center. Well, then we have a lot of fixing to do. Yeah, that's a lot of fixing, because it's on multiple axes in the cut, and yeah, so in that case you will need to apply the boolean. So Q, sharpen, boom. Okay, and now go into edit mode and let's see what do we have here. Oh gosh, it's a huge mess. So first things first, I see that the bevel is overshooting, I think, in some areas. Okay, no, it's not overshooting, it's just this missed edges. Yeah, I mean, you'll have a lot of fixing here, because you probably won't actually be able to use the modifier like we did before. The offset cut, let's see here. Yeah, it won't really work. The offset cut won't work in here, so you do need to fix them manually. But that's still better than sub D. It's still faster actually. Okay, so here, let's see. Okay, that's a bit tricky one. I'll just add one here maybe with knife cut, add one here, and add one here. And then let's just work our way down. So selecting this and then pressing 1, that would mesh machine. And then this near mist vert, and here I think we do need one in here as well. No? Is it overshooting bevel then? Okay, let me see here. If we just do this type of cut. No way, so the bevel is too large. Yeah, it was too large. Or it wasn't. We can actually simply check it by just holding Alt and pressing V and then wireframe, and let's see if it's overshooting or not. Actually, it's not overshooting, but in this case we got this edge going through here. It's trying to make a connection, which is wrong. So we need to fix it somehow. So we could just go ahead and make a knife cut right here, I think. Maybe remove this one. This one? No, doesn't fix it. Adding here one maybe, here. Doesn't really seem to do much. Yeah, I mean, it still overlaps. Okay, that almost works. What if we just slide this? Yeah, okay, yeah, that works. So we're fiddling this much because we need this to not overlap. Like right now, you see? Right now, this is not overlapping, and it's very close call. It's just about to overlap, but we just managed to run this edge right here. Okay. Now let's continue with this. Okay, now this tutorial, it will be a little bit long, I'm thinking. So maybe I'll just speed up the process of this. And yeah, I'll see you after I'm done. Okay guys, so here we go, we are done with this. We had to unfortunately do everything manually in here, and yeah, but that's an impressive cut, very impressive cut, and look how clean everything is. Look how clean the model looks in here. Well, that's not clean. And there is one missed edge right there as well. But yeah, boom, look at that. So clean. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so we got this part. And then here, I do actually want to fix these. So I'm just going to delete these few edges in here, and I think it will be actually fixed like that. Like this. And then maybe even that one. And then this one, this one, this one, and this one. Just kind of even out the density like that. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Maybe here as well, just kind of delete few edges and see if it makes everything better. Okay, yeah, that made it way worse actually. Ah, okay, it's because of these missed edges. I never fixed those. There we go. Like that. Just kind of fixing it. Okay, and here as well. I'll just delete this fully and then join this to here. For this one, I'll just dissolve these two, join this to this one, this one just like that. I'll just also run the cleanup with 3, and let's see here, this one again. This whole edge loop actually, I'll just isolate this so you can see this whole edge loop actually shouldn't be here at all. It's just making everything worse. That's near missed edges. Let's just join them. That's fine. Okay, yep. Okay, there we go. Now we fix that. Okay, so actually I'll leave the rest for the next episode because it's getting a little bit longer. And so yeah, the next episode we are going to just add this at the top of our model, this thing right here, and then we're going to just add it into the place because now it's kind of large. Or actually we can just do it right now quickly, just scale it down, and then we don't need this anymore because it was radial array. It adds empty automatically, and yeah, so here just position it kind of roughly in there and it's going to be fine. I'm just looking at references to see how big it should be. And now you can just set this to bounding box center like that. And I think it was a bit bigger, something like that. And a little bit more to the back. I mean way more to the back, yeah. Somewhere in here. And then how wide was it actually? Something like that. Maybe a little bit actually wider even. I'm just scaling the whole thing to make it wider. Let's see, do I have the proportions right? No, I don't think so. It has to be smaller, I think. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, good. And then this thing in here, I think this doesn't even join actually in here. It just stays kind of like that, elevated, because there are internal things that hold everything together. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, you see, it's just like elevated like that, and this basically is even with this. In our case, it's a little bit longer. Well, this probably had to be a little bit bigger right here. Okay, just roughly get the proportions right, and that's going to be fine. So just position it somehow like that. Yep, so here we go. We got this done. Like I said, in the next part we're going to do the front plating, this one right here. And then we're going to do the top, and then maybe even propellers. And then these cuts right here as well. Let's not forget about those. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got this far, and I hope that you're doing well. And just don't forget to save your file. Don't forget that. Don't lose your progress. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. See you guys. Good luck.